In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Well, we gather today at church so that we may have the opportunity to thank God for giving us the ability to work for Him, to do good things for Him, and to do good things for His church, St. Catherine's. Besides the work of each one of you during the weekend of the whole week of the feast, of the fiesta that we had, besides the extra effort that you made that weekend, the most important thing is that we were able to work together and help each other and get to know each other better. That was a very good thing. And beyond, how successful it was, the most important thing for me was to have seen you doing things for St. Catherine's during that week and that weekend especially. So that was a very good thing, and we have so many other reasons to be grateful to God for. But one that I find important is for you to be here and to be part of our parish. And so I would never be able to thank you well enough for being so generous with St. Catherine's, with your time, your effort, all those things that you put together, the things that you donated, your time, and all of these things. So thank you, and this Mass is for you, for your intentions and those of your family. So that's a good thing. At the end of after this little reflection, we are going to bless scapulars that we want to impose on you. Those of you who have not received one, and would like to receive the scapular blessed and imposed on you, then after I bless them, you can come over to the communion rail, and I will give one to each one of you. In Jesus in the Gospel today says, I am the light of the world. Light was the first thing that God created, as opposed to the chaos and the darkness that existed before everything else was created. And so He came into the world simply to bring light to the world. Then you know how much He had to pay in order for Him to illumine the hearts of men again, as it was in the beginning. And we are surrounded by darkness in this world in which we live, and especially in this country. Years back, in the 40s, 50s, we as Catholics had specific values, principles that governed families, individuals, and societies in general. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now, this world has conspired time and again against Jesus, against the church, against the light. And if there is one thing that we have to be sure, is that we work with Him. that we stay united with Him through prayer, the fulfillment of our daily duties, and all of these things. Now, if you see other people, for example, a builder, an architect, they know their duties. They do them well, and they love doing them. If you have an architect, he's always thinking about the job that he does. He doesn't do anything else other than thinking and doing what he's supposed to be doing. And if you see an architect who is good, who does his duties, who loves doing what he does and doing what he does well, you can see that he has the spirit of a builder, the spirit of an architect. Now, we are supposed to have the Spirit of Christ, meaning that we know our duties, that we love doing them and we do them well, so that everybody else may see that we are Christians, that we follow Christ, that we are disciples of Christ. Now, this world, this society, in general, from the president all the way to the last person in this country, is not being controlled or governed by the Spirit of Christ. We already know that. See? And it is a very sad thing to acknowledge that. See? Because they are not there to do everything for the glory of God, but for themselves, for their own glory. So we have to be aware of the spirit of darkness that controls our culture, our society. So, look at the values that we now have, the principles that govern our societies. Everything is like, upside down. Upside down. So, in everything that we do, in everything we say, we must have the knowledge of Christ's doctrine and of our duties, and be able to do them well. See? Because this culture has established itself in the idea of persecuting Christ, to conspire against him and all those who believe in him. See? If we do not defend the interests of Christ, who else is going to do it? See? So every action of ours, every decision that we make, everything that we do is done either for the glory of God or for this world, or for our own glory. See? So we have to know the duties of our studying life, that of being Christians, so that we may be able to establish the kingdom of Christ in the middle of the world, to illumine all realities with the light of Christ. So, before the Pope came to Mexico yesterday, he mentioned that the most dangerous thing that we face nowadays is this separation that the devil has established between the ordinary lives of Catholics and Sunday Mass. Meaning that most Catholics say that they can do whatever they want during the week and then come to Sunday Mass and everything is okay. Well, that is not true. We have to behave as Catholics here in church and at work and in the middle of the world. That is why union with Christ through prayer and the fulfillment of our daily duties is so essential. So with this in mind, let us continue our good work in the parish, in our families, with the idea that there is something that we need to do. See? And not necessarily something spectacular that may be visible by everybody else or, doing great things. No. What we need is men and women with a reformed heart, united with Christ through prayer, penance, mortification, the fulfillment of our daily duties. Let us continue to work on that, because this world can only be changed by the influence of each one of us, and if we have a good, solid foundation on prayer and the knowledge of Christ's doctrine. So thank you for coming, and after Mass we want to invite you to join us for a little lunch. Venimos hoy este día pues para agradecerle a Dios el esfuerzo que